Alright, we are back with lobby A. Hey, I didn't say lobby number A at least. Let's see, let's get this thing rolling here. Pause. Turn on our info. Alright, alright. Okay, we have Cynical on the pole. Joining him on the front row is going to be Yoda. Sorry about that. Didn't want to sneeze in everybody's ear, so. Row number 2, we're going to see Fuller and Sweaty Palms. Row number 3 is going to be Rob Brooks and Subtle Butthole. Row number 4 is going to find Jacob and Ricky Bobby. Row number 5, PNW Wheeler and Really Slow. And rounding out your field here for lobby number 8 is going to be Crash and Chris. So, we have a comment already. Who's in here? Oh, that's got to be old Butthole. Yep, there it is. Hey, everybody makes mistakes. You know, owning up to it is what I look at, too. I like that. But, unfortunately, I don't handle the stewards, so... that'll get sent off, and they'll make a decision. We should have rulings on everything, hopefully by the end of the day, is what I'm hoping. So, that is all we got for now, though. We will get rolling. Cynical and Yoda going to lead us down to turn number 1. You know what we're going to do? We're going to jump back here. We're going to jump on with Chris. This was the way to watch turn 1, so we are going to ride along with him. Here we go. We are ready to go. And away we go. Good start by him. Looks like Wheeler has a little bit of an issue off the start. We'll jump back on with Wheeler here and watch his Jolt Cola. I like it. And heading down into turn 1. Looks to be fairly clean. Oh, somebody caught that inside tire. Oh, that inside tire is a brutal one, and Wheeler trying to get back going is going to spin that thing. Keeps it going straight, though. So Cynical and Fuller. Yoda drops back to 4th here off the start. Cynical leading the way in the number 28 Pennzoil. Got Rob Brooks in the mellow yellow. Wait. Well, wait a second, you two. Running the same car. I'm all confused. Ricky Bobby in the 4th spot. Sweaty Palms in 5th. Subtle Butthole in the 6th position. Jacob in 7th. And Jacob, if you don't read the comments, he did apologize here as well, so. You can see it there. Chris up to the 8th spot, so good start by him. Gained 3 right out the gate in the Tide car. Like I said on the last one, it was okay to run the number from your NASCAR scheme on this one, but going forward next week, you will have to run your actual number on your car, so. And we see Cynical leading the way. He will lead lap number 1, but right in tow is going to be Yoda and Rob Brooks, or Rob Brooks and Yoda in that order. So we got Nissan party back here. And Cynical will hold on to that lead. Rob Brooks in the 2nd spot, Yoda in 3rd. Looks like Ricky Bobby is under threat from Sweaty Palms. And then behind that, looks like we got Subtle and Jacob battling it out back here. Alright, so it looks like my wife is on her way home, so I will have a little interruption in the middle of this thing, but we will try to make it as little as possible. cut or no? And there we see it. Cynical with a 49.691 there in that first one. I guess it does count them as you come across because you are starting from behind the start-finish line, but that won't be the fastest lap of the race. We'll see what these guys do across the line here. We're seeing it. Cynical with 39.332. Brooks with a 40.178. Yoda with a 40.0 for Ricky Bobby, so closed in a little bit on the back of these guys. A 39.8 for Sweaty Palms. 39.8, 40.3, 39.9. I mean, you can see it right there. 39.7 back here for Wheeler. So everybody but Fuller and really slow here in the 39s. Fuller must have gone for an adventure out there. Not sure what happened. Cynical still leading the way here early on lap number 3. And he'll come across there. Still the leader. Heading back onto the backstretch, like we were saying in Lobby B. This is built off the NASCAR track. So this is turn 1 and 2 of the NASCAR. The high banking of Daytona, they'll head onto the backstretch towards the bus stop and then into 3 and 4 of the NASCAR circuit. And we see Ricky Bobby in the good old Ricky Bobby theme. Closing in on the back of the 2 mellow yellow cars. I swear Ricky must have this car painted this way in every imaginable thing. As we see Sweaty Palms already into the pits on lap number 3. Had enough of those mediums, it sounds like. And that will move Ricky. We'll hold on to there. Subtle and Jacob, Chris, all those guys will move up a spot. But we'll see how this plays out strategy-wise. Oh, Ricky Bobby a little bit loose there. Be interesting to see how this works out when these guys make their pit and how far back they'll be. Or if Sweaty will actually gain an undercut. I know in Lobby B, I undercut on my first pit stop. I was the only one to pit early. I pit on lap 5 though, not 3, but I pit on lap 5 and came out and I gained quite a bit of time. I'd say a good 3 to 4 seconds on my out lap, so you can really make up a lot here on your undercut if you can do it. We ride along still with Ricky Bobby following the 2 mellow yellow cars, one of Yoda, one of Rob Brooks. You can see Cynical out there in the lead. Really opened up a gap now. Like I say, we always do the livery look after the first pit stop. Unless there's some crazy good battling going on, then I won't do that. And doesn't look like Ricky's going to be able to close in. You see it here, Subtle and Jacob going to battle it out for that 5th spot. Or is he just going to push? The Honda pushing the Nissan here. Swings it to the outside. Don't think he's looking to make a move just yet. Oh, down there deep into the corner. And we see Wheeler and Crashing Chris on the back of this battle. So we're going to jump on board with Chris. 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th battling it out here. 9th a little too far back. We saw really slow. It was really quick last week in the preseason races. Not sure, just not real familiar with this track, or if that was just a fluke last week. We'll have to see how that goes. He did make Lobby A. Oh, and we got a yellow flag out. Oh, that's Rob. Rob off into the grass there. That's going to drop him back to the 8th position. Is he close enough? Nope, he probably won't grab too much of a slipstream here. And we see 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th now fighting this thing out. they dive down into the corners, into the bus stop, I should say. Wheeler, after a rough start, worked his way back up. He's into the 6th spot here, so putting in the work, trying to get back in there. Looks like Jacob going to open up a gap there for the 4th spot, though. Cynical into the pits here. Chris going to swing to the outside. Is he going to be able to make it? Oh, those guys are both diving down into the pits. Chris going to continue on. Looks like Ricky Bobby, Jacob, and Chris going to be the only ones to not pit here. Fuller is in. Sweaty is already pit, so let's ride along with Sweaty. Let's see where this works out for him. Runs his best lap there. Actually, not too far off the fast lap. Comes around here. Where is this going to put him? Looks like he will be sitting in the 3rd position of the the pit stops. 6 on the track, though, as your front 3 have not pit yet. Wheeler not too far behind him here. Great recovery there by the number 14 Nissan, I think. Nissan. So we have 3 mellow yellow cars. You know what? And I won't complain, because guess what? That's what I'm drinking. Mellow yellow. Mellow yellow. It does the body good. Mellow yellow and peanut butter Oreos. That's a breakfast of champions. Asmo, if you are in here, suck it up, man. Good sportsmanship. I'd rather see that. That's what it's all about here. Alright, let's take a look here. I was just going to check this. Ricky into the pits. Jacob into the pits. Chris into the pits. So this will make everybody's first pit stop in the books by lap number 6. 38.877. Cynical, your fast lap so far. Does take tires. I was wondering if he's going to get those mediums off, gets a pair of softs on. And here we see it all working out. Cynical still your leader. Sweaty Palms into the 2nd spot now. Got ahead of Yoda there. Yoda rounds out your podium after pit stops have concluded. Ricky Bobby in the 4th spot. Wheeler in the 5th spot. Jacob in 6th. Subtle in 7th. Rob Brooks in the 8th spot, followed by Crash and Chris. Really slow. And Fuller. I mean, everybody kind of within range of each other other than Cynical out here by himself. This guy. While we're out here, let's go ahead and take a look. Cynical rocking the Pennzoil number 28 Nissan. He's rocking the 08 Nissan here. Got GranTurismo.com Rays Kiyoshi G-Shock on that. Their silver bullet is what we'll call that thing. Good looking car. Behind him, Sweaty Palms running the DuPont number 54. A Jeff Gordon throwback scheme there. We got DuPont and a whole bunch of NASCAR sponsors on there. Valvoline as well. Snickers on the back there. So good looking number 54. Behind him, Yoda. We are rocking the Cold Trickle number 51 Mellow Yellow there on his Nissan. He's rocking the 16 Nissan. Forgot to mention Sweaty Palms rocking the newer Honda NSX. Behind that, Ricky Bobby in the Lexus. That's going to be the 16 Lexus. He's in the number 62 Me. Want to go fast. Ricky Bobby styled scheme here from the movie. If you've seen Talladega Nights, you've seen this car. Ricky Bobby just representing. Behind him, Wheeler in his own inspired Jolt Cola Mellow. Got Jolt on the back, Mellow Yellow on the front. I like it. Got the Monkey Mafia logo on the back there as well. GoPro on there. Oracle. Mobile One. Simons, whatever you want to call it. number 14. He's rocking the the 16 Nissan as he closes in on the back of Ricky Bobby here. We'll stay on board for just a moment. Anybody close behind? Nobody close behind, so this is a battle for the 4th spot. Is he going to take it or is he going to push? It looks like he's going to give the bump draft, tuck in, and keep rolling. Backs it off. There you go. Not looking to make a move just yet. Keep pushing. Up next is going to be Jacob running the Hendrick Motor Cars, or HendrickCars.com, number 5. Kyle Larson throwback here. Not really a throwback. This is a pretty common scheme for him nowadays. Pretty straightforward. And the number 5 HendrickCars.com Nissan. He's running the 16 Nissan as well. Subtle rocking the 16 Honda. He's in the number 33 Honda GRT Performance. Bosch, Bridgestone, Rays, Moto, HTC, HRC is what it is. Number 33 Honda NSX. Behind that we got Rob Brooks in the 2016 Nissan. Number 51 Mellow Yellow. Cole Trickle throwback to Days of Thunder. He's got Fanatec, Exxon, GranTurismo.com, Goodyear on that thing. Good looking car. Actually, I like the more of a charcoal look to the top. I like that look. Chris back here rocking the Tide, and I'm sorry, the Tide car looks good. Does have the diamond detail on there. I appreciate that one. It's the wife's business right there on that back quarter. He's in the number 22 2016 Nissan GTR. Got Fuller right up behind him. Fuller with our 3rd Denny Hamlin scheme of the night. The FedEx, number 11 here. He's got his actual number on there as well. Got the monkey logo on there. FedEx Express on the back. ACR Racing. You can tell he stole it from somewhere. And finally, we have the 09. I'm so slow. I may be slow, but I'm in front of you. Oh, that's on the back as well. He's in the Lexus, the new Lexus. That's going to be really slow back there in the final running spot. It's Sweaty Palms. Yoda side by side. Yoda's going to take that spot. And there you go. Battle still going on for your 2nd and 3rd position. Behind that, looks like side by side, Wheeler and Ricky Bobby battling it out. There's battles everywhere right now. I'll try to do my best to keep up with all of them, as that's a battle for 4th and 5th. Ricky's going to have to hold back, settle by himself. Rob's got a little bit of a lead, though. He's got Fuller and Crash and Chris closing in behind him. And behind that, we got Jacob and Really Slow. So almost everywhere on track, we got some battles going on. See a plane coming down to the background there. That was kind of cool. And Chris might have a run here on Fuller. He looks to the inside. He will have that spot. Fuller will tuck in, and we'll see what happens. Ooh, a little bit of lag there from, not sure which. Is that just probably the replay for me? Sorry about that. I had to take a little break quick. There's some battling going on everywhere. Give me just a sec here. So Cynical got a hell of a lead here. Pretty far out there. He's way ahead of second place of Yoda, but Yoda's still under fire from Sweaty Palms. Second, third there, that's going to be your final podium spots. Wheeler got around Ricky Bobby holding off that spot. Subtle closing in on the back of these two for 5th place, and we'll see if he's able to do anything. Rob Brooks, Crash and Chris, Fuller all really close together still. Looks like Really Slow got around Jacob for the 10th spot. Alright. Like I say, my wife and daughter just came home, so taking a quick break there and just chatting with my daughter, so. We are back on board here. Let's jump back out front. Cynical still got a nice big lead. Yoda being able to hold off Sweaty Palms here. We should be about halfway. Yeah, look, about halfway through this stint. Sweaty Palms, though, he pit early, so he'll have to look to see how this turns out for him in the strategy side. He got out those mediums early, got a pair of softs on there, and is rolling out now. Closing in on him. We'll see if he's going to be able to make a move here as they head out of the bus stop. Heading around towards the start-finish line. We will see. Doesn't look like Sweaty Palm's going to have anything for him here. And he will just hold on to that 3rd spot. But back here, we are all over the place. 4th, 5th, and 6th. Wheeler under threat from Subtle. Subtle under threat from Ricky Bobby. Subtle just got around Ricky. But Ricky's looking to get that spot back. Suttle's going to look to the inside as they head down into turn 1. Ooh, Ricky a little bit wide there in turn 1. He's going to have to give up some ground. Wheeler loses that spot to Subtle. Subtle now in the 4th spot. He's a real butthole, but he's subtle about it. And there you go. Wheeler on the 5th spot. Ricky Bobby in 6th. Rob Brooks on the back of this side. Not too bad. Chris in Really Slow. Oh, Chris off into the grass. Not sure. I feel like that was a... We're getting some weird glitch there. I feel like. Yeah, the replays sometimes are... They always do that. You get some weird glitches in the replays. As Jacob holding on here. Fuller back in the... Did he just pit? Must have had a mistake again. F. Fuller, always making mistakes. God. Hey, you, if you're watching this, thumb up the video. Do it now. Do it or I will throw bananas at you. Alright, Jacob's still hunting Really Slow here. These two have been battling it out for quite a while here after the first pit stop. Yoda's still holding off Sweaty Palms. They head down into turn 1. Looks like maybe they've gained a little bit. Cynical 38.9 on the last one, 38.7, 38.5. So they gained a little bit there on Cynical, but not much. Cynical really holding on to that lead. He opened it up and is not looking to give it back. But this battle back here is raging on for second. Subtle gets into the 4th spot and he's opened it up now a little bit. Where'd Wheeler go? Did he pit? Oh, Wheeler must have had it off. So Subtle in the 4th spot. Ricky Bobby in 5th. Rob Brooks closing in on that 5th spot as well here in 6th. With Wheeler and Crash and Chris not too far back of them. So we could have a battle. We'll have to see how it plays out with pit stops. Looks like everybody probably has run both pits, or run both tires. Rob going to take a look to the inside of Ricky Bobby here, coming around the front stretch, or the back stretch. Sorry. And he will take that 5th position over. So that is Rob Brooks over Ricky Bobby, heading down into the bus stop. Will Ricky have anything for him heading back onto the front stretch into NASCAR 3 and 4? Oh, I heard somebody sliding around, it sounded like. No, maybe not. And there you see it, he's not able to get anything done. And Chris chasing Wheeler here. Sweaty palms into the pits now. Say he had an early first stint pit. Oh, crashing Chris deep off into 1. Tricky spot. As Chris blends back into the 9th spot, so rough the go there for him. It looks like we got a pretty tight field though. Ricky Bobby off. Oh, Ricky Bobby. Damn it, Ricky Bobby. You put that hate on me. Ricky drops to the 10th spot. He'll have to fight back from that. Looks like Sweaty did make his pit stop. Comes out into the 5th spot. We'll see how that cycles through. He was right behind Yoda, so we'll see after the pit stops how that plays out and how they're spaced out from that one. Will the undercut work for him? Cynical still leading your way as we approach the 25-minute mark. 35 to go. Cynical leads the way here. Should be seeing pit stops in the next 5 laps from everybody else. As he crosses the line at 138.910, your top time, Yoda, just on his last lap at 38.179, so he is closing in on the back. Yeah, he's gained about 1.5 seconds over the last 2 laps, so we'll see if Yoda's able to close off that gap to Cynical. Subtle Butthole in the 3rd spot. A 38.5 is his best lap, so nothing too bad there. Hey, come here if you want to announce with me. You want to announce with me? Come on. Yeah, she says yes. Yeah, she shakes her head no at me. I think it's more of a hell no. She says hello to everybody as she's munching on something. What you eating there? Skittles? Oh my God, she's got her emotional support Skittles. Yeah, that's right, we renamed them. They're emotional support Skittles now. I don't even know how many we got. How many are actually listening right now? ESM? I was like, where'd the M come from? Too bad we don't have Gunner here. My old dog would have had plenty to say as Mom came home. Good old Blue over here, he's quiet most of the time. Oh, I am. Fogey, what's up, Fogey? Ready for tonight? Should be a fun one at Trial Mountain for GR4 tonight. Yeah, Cynical and Yoda making their pit stops. We ride along with Subtle. We'll see if he's going to dive down in now. We're on lap number 16. Subtle will continue on one more lap. We'll ride along here. We'll jump in with Rob Brooks. He'll continue on. What's up, Flip? Appreciate you guys joining in. Looks like Sweaty continued on. Jacob continues past the pits. Chris and Ricky Bobby. Looks like really slow and Wheeler into the pits. So quite a bit of mixture here in this pit strategy. Cynical will find the lead though. It looks like Sweaty lost quite a bit of ground on Yoda there on the pit sequence. Rob Brooks finds himself into the 4th spot. He's still got a pit though. And then we got Sweaty in the 5th spot. Jacob in 6th. Behind him, that bright tied car of Crash and Chris. Ricky Bobby right behind Chris, so we are going to see if these guys battle it out. They still have yet to pit as well, so we'll see See how it plays out with pit strategy here. I'm not sure how this one's going to work. Lobby B was a lot more straightforward. And Chris going to come around here, not even able to close in too much. Ricky's not able to do too much. Let's jump around here. Cynical on his outlap coming around NASCAR 3 and 4 to the front stretch. He'll head through the tri-oval over the start-finish line. Finish lap number 17. Just about to the halfway point of this thing. Once these pits cycle through, I will take a quick break and be right back, but we'll see how this plays out. So Yoda is in the second position. We see the rest of the field. The rest of the pit stops happening now. Looking to go, who, Cynical? Yeah, Cynical's just flying today. And it looks like Yoda, looks like that played out to be about the same. Looks like Sweaty Palm's trying to close in on him, but wasn't able to do too much with the undercut. Looks to be a pretty even swap after the pit stops. Chris, though, yet to pit. He's going to go one more. He's on the last leg of this fuel. But he's in the 4th spot for now. And that Subtle and Rob Brooks back here fighting for 5th and 6th after their pit stops. Rob on the medium, Subtle on the softs. We'll see how that one plays out as they go. And that really slow has pit as well. He's in the 7th position. Got Jacob behind. Jacob has pit. Ricky has pit in the 9th spot. Fuller as well, and Wheeler as well to round out your field. So the only one yet to pit is Crash and Chris. So we'll ride along with him as he heads to the bus stop, kind of all by himself out here in 4th. We'll see where he cycles through after his pit stop. Hey you, if you're listening, hit the thumb up. The last video had 5. Can we beat that this time? I guess we'll have to see. And Crash and Chris into the pits with 2 liters of fuel left. We will see. Looks like Rob and Subtle will sneak by here. Chris not even into his box yet. There he was. We'll roll by. To see, the way they do the pit stops here is weird, so looks like he will drop to the 10th spot, but he'll come around and be in 8th roughly. Looks like he will pull out in the 8th spot right in front of Ricky Bobby. So after the pit stops, pretty even match there between those two drivers. As we say, Cynical out in the lead still. We are after the halfway point here, so we're closing in on the back end of the race. Cynical been leading the majority of the race here. I think actually has led every lap. Unless pit stops don't change that. Just throwing some grass on the track. Don't worry about it, as he's going to hit his best, almost 2/10 up on his best lap. 38.7 is that one, but a 38.1 is our fast lap right now from Yoda. Man, I ran a 38.1 too. God, I could have been in this race. Cynical goes across the line, 38.725. Behind him, Yoda with a 38.114. That's going to be your fast lap. So he's closing in, gained 0.6 there on Cynical on that lap. So see what he can do. Yoda, or not Yoda, but Sweaty Palms, 38.490. Did lose a little bit of ground, but still right there in the 3rd position. Rob Brooks is back here. Look at your gap between 3rd and 4th. Look up at the map. I mean, that's a huge gap here. Rob Brooks in your 4th spot. Not too far behind him here. Let's see, a 39.2 for Rob, a 39.5 for Subtle. Subtle trying to get this work done. We'll see if he's able to do anything. Subtle able to close in, but not too much yet. As they head through the bus stop. Oh, Subtle off into the grass there. It's dangerous. Dangerous game to be playing, hitting that grass like that. Really slow trying to keep up on these guys in the 6th spot. Jacob in the 7th spot. Chris back here holding on to 8th, right in front of Ricky Bobby. Fuller in 10th, and Wheeler's going to round out your field in 11th. Cynical. Alright, so let's do this. Looks like these two are going to battle it out. We're going to stay on board with this one. Your race for 4th and 5th between Rob and Subtle. Yeah, sure, Flip, just keep putting in the laps. That's the biggest thing. You know, when I started, I was the same way. I was getting lapped, and it was frustrating, but you put in the laps, and you eventually start picking up that pace, and honestly, if you have any questions or anything, shoot me a message. I got no problem helping. I'm not the fastest in the world, but definitely not afraid to help somebody get quicker. As we see Subtle closing in, using the slipstream to try to close in on Rob. But doesn't look like that NSX has enough down the straightaways for the Nissan. Looks like the slipstream is enough to start pulling in, but not enough to really do anything else with it as they come into the bus stop here. Subtle gets a good run out of there. He's closing in on the back of him. No problem. Oh, Subtle's going to have a look to the inside here. They come out of NASCAR 3 and 4 into the tri-oval. And across the line. Let's see who's going to lead this one. Rob will lead this lap between them. Side by side down into turn 1, though. Subtle drives it in a little deeper. He's going to hold on to it. That's going to give him the 4th spot. Rob tucks back in. He'll look to try to make the move back around him. Will they have anything for him as they head down into turn 3? Looks like he will settle in. He's not able to make the move there. So with that, we'll stay on board with Rob here for a little bit. I'm going to take a quick break, and I'll be right back. Alright, we are back. And we see here, we stayed on this for a reason. Rob and Subtle still battling it out. While we were gone, though, looks like Yoda went to a 37.823 lap time. And Subtle going to have a look to the inside. Is he going to be able to hold it off? They head down into the bus stop. And looks like Subtle will hold that spot for now. Rob's going to have a good run on the outside. Oh, these guys are just putting it down here really slow. Look at the line of cars behind them, though. They make a mistake, and they're going to be under pressure from about 4 or 5 cars. And heading down to the start-finish line. Rob's going to have a look around the outside. They'll head down into turn 1. You can stick the outside of turn 1 here. He decides better of it and tucks right in. So we jump back up here. Cynical 38-0. Looks like maybe Yoda had an issue on that last lap. He's Sweaty still right on him. Sweaty Palms giving Yoda the sweaty palms for that second and third position. There you see it. Nothing doing on that one. Looks like Subtle maybe had an issue back there. Where did he go? There he is, all the way back to 9th place, so had an issue. Got Jacob on the back of Ricky Bobby here. Is he going to be able to make a move? Did pick up damage. That was what was being talked about earlier by Subtle. He was trying to get back, kind of going trackside, and the good old GT500 car just spun her around on him. So tough luck there. And imagine we'll see a penalty incoming, but you know, when you admit you're wrong, that always is a good thing. So we appreciate that part, Subtle. So there we see it, 7th and 8th, 6 up in the distance. 9th not too far behind, but right now this is about your closest battle on track. I mean, really, when it comes down to it, this is a lot closer than Lobby B was. Lobby B spread out quite a bit there. This is, you can see it there, 5-6 cars all in the same camera shot. I don't think we got that in Lobby B, except for like maybe once or twice. We are under 20 minutes to go now. 24 laps in the books, 25 is what we are on. Cynical leading the way. Still got a healthy lead over Yoda and Sweaty Palms. And then your top 3, though, just gone. Just gone from the rest of the field at this point. Subtle going to try to look to the inside, not going to have enough to do anything with it. Oops. Subtle thought about it, decides better of it. That's a tough spot to do it in the bus stop. Fuller closing in on the back of him. And Wheeler pretty gapped back here, looks like. Having some issues, finds himself in the 11th spot, Fuller in 10th. Subtle chasing Jacob for the 9th spot, while Jacob's going to look to the inside of Ricky Bobby into turn 1. Or no, into the pits. Oh, we see pit stops start happening here. Sweaty just pulling out of the pits. And then we got Rob Brooks and Jacob into the pits here. So some different fuel strategy starting as we jump over to Cynical, and he is on a purple sector. So we'll stay along for this one. See how it works out for him. Can he set the fast lap again? 37.787 right now is your fast lap. There you go, 2.5 tenths up on that, so definitely putting it down. Yoda did that lap on the last one, so he's run a couple of 37s here in the last few laps. Cynical going to be looking for his first 37 of the bunch. As he comes around here, let's see if he can set that new fast lap. Oh, and he's going to go into the pits. Into the pits on a purple sector, or a purple lap. That's a tough one. But that will give Yoda the lead for now. Yoda's still with just under a quarter tank of fuel, so we'll see if he's able to stretch it for a couple more laps. Sweaty Palms is already pit. Really Slow finds himself up into the 4th spot, has yet to pit though. Same with Ricky, yet to pit. Chris has not pit. Subtle's not pit. So the first one back here is your 9th spot. So Cynical's going to come out now, and he will hold on to the 2nd position. Yoda going to try to make a move here. Why does it show a pit lap there? Dang, he had a bad lap on the last one. 39.006. That's not a good lap. So lost quite a bit of ground there. That's going to give Cynical an even bigger gap after the pit stop. Sweaty Palms, though, let's see what he runs on this lap. This could be a really big indicator of where he's going to fall next to Yoda. Do we think Yoda's going to pit this time by? He's heading towards the bus stop. We'll find out soon enough. He is down into the pits, so that'll bring Yoda in. Let's jump on with Sweaty. Let's see where he falls after this pit stop. Yoda in. Cynical will reclaim the lead as he goes by. The real key is where Sweaty will fall. Sweaty was probably about a second behind Yoda before the pit stops. What is his lap time here? Let's see. He comes across the line. A 38.799, so not a bad lap. Lawnmowers. And let's see. Did Yoda short pit there? He did. So Yoda doesn't take tires and does not take a full tank of fuel. That gives him the lead though. So little strategy being played here with just under 15 minutes to go. And Yoda takes over the lead from Cynical, so Cynical got a little work to do now. And that puts a gap back to Sweaty Palms. From there, we got Ricky Bobby. Got a decent gap in front of these guys, but behind he's got Subtle, Chris, and Fuller. All nose to tail here, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Rob in the 8th spot. These guys, oh yeah, these guys haven't pit yet. That's why. So, has Ricky? Yeah, Ricky hasn't pit either, so... And I would imagine we'll see Ricky Bobby diving off into the pits this time. Don't think he can stretch it the rest of the way. None of these guys can. He'll be okay, he'll be okay, be okay. Yeah, everybody else should be good, but this 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, all yet to pit. You see them all there nose to tail. So now the strategy plays out between these 4 drivers, really. This is what's going to be interesting. Ricky Bobby putting in some good laps here the last couple of 38s rocking for him. And Ricky into the pits. Subtle into the pits. Chris continues on. And Fuller in. So Chris is going to be the one of the 4 that's going to continue on. Be interesting to see how this one plays out. Is the undercut or overcut going to work between these drivers? Those 3 all come in together. You see at 12, 5, and 7, the leaders left for fuel for them. Rob Brooks will jump back up into the 5th spot. Should hold on to that, I would imagine. Fuel going in Ricky Bobby. Where's Rob? He's going past there. Yep. So Rob will hold on to that spot really slow. Oh, and look at this. Really slow. Ricky Bobby. Oh, man, look at this traffic jam of cars coming out of the pits. We got 6 cars on the camera shot here. That's a hell of a battle we got going on for the end of this thing. I'll try to keep up with the action as much as I can. Looks like Ricky Bobby going to have a look at Jacob. Jacob's going to, oh, a little deep into the corner. Maybe a little bit of contact there. Nothing too extreme. Ricky is going to hold on. Subtle right behind him. Hey you. Hey you. Thumbs up. Jacob coming in on the back are really slow. We'll see where Chris, I would imagine Chris gonna pit here. Like I say, I would imagine that's what it is, but nothing to tell me yet that that is for sure. And he will continue on for another lap here. We are almost to the 10-minute mark. Chris continues on, holds on to that 4th spot. Cynical still trying to close in on the back of Yoda. Is he going to be able to get that move done? We'll try to keep an eye on that, but for now, really slow. Jacob, Ricky Bobby, and in the background of that one, Subtle as well. All fighting this one out. We're looking at 3. They were thinking about 3 wide into corner 1. And a little bit of contact there between Ricky and Jacob. It looked like they continue on, though. Jacob on the back are really slow. Is he going to be able to get it done? And he is not. He's going to tuck back in, but that's going to give Ricky a shot as well. You can see it there. 4 cars all covered by a blanket. Jacob a little squirrely out of the corner. That's going to give Ricky a run on him. That gets really slow the gap. Ricky out in the grass a little bit. These guys battling it out. This is a good race between these two. Oh, Jacob a little bit into the grass there. Let's see where we're at. Ricky Subtle is still nose to tail here. Really slow, open up a little bit of gap over those two. Looks like Ricky giving that spot back to Jacob. Maybe a little bit of contact. I didn't quite see the contact, but Ricky doing the sports. Hey, look at that, Asmo. Asmo, you're not the only one. You're not the only sportsman in this deal. So Ricky gives that 8th spot back. They'll battle that one out. Subtle trying to chase down really slow here for the 6th spot. And for now, let's jump back up here. So let's see Yoda with a 38.5 and a 38.4 the last 2 laps, as he is up on that, though. Cynical with a 38.0 and a 38.5, so he's closing in as well. It was hard to say, Ricky. I'm not sure. It looked like there might have been contact, but from the replay doesn't always give me the best view of that stuff. Whether, even if I'm watching on, I think sometimes there's a little bit of a bubble that is a little bit off, so. But power to you for doing that. Always a respected thing to do. Is Yoda leading the way. Cynical, you see him closing in. Is he going to be able to get him before the end of this thing? 8.5 minutes to go. Both these guys running fast laps. Let's see what the lap times are as they come through the bus stop, heading to NASCAR 3 and 4. They'll head over the trial into the start finish, and we will see who's going to have the better lap this time. 37.787, our fast lap with Yoda. Cynical with a 38.074, so yet to hit the 37s. Yoda's got a couple 37s on his grade sheets, so he has been running a little bit quicker, but can he hold him off? 38.1 on that one, a 38.1 for Cynical, so matching lap times there. I mean, really just 5/100ths difference. Behind that, Sweaty Palms in his own. And about a half lap back, Crashing Chris holding on to that fuel now in the 4th spot. Rob Brooks closing in, though. Got really slow and Subtle battling it out back here for 6th and 7th. Jacob in the 8th spot. Got Ricky Bobby right on his tail again. Alright, we jump back over to the battle for the lead. Cynical's right there. Oh, you can see it. There's a big difference in the gaps there. Cynical definitely closing in right now. Can he hold it for the rest of the lap, though? Cynical looks like he may set a fast lap on this one. Can he get his first 37 of the night? We're on board with Yoda as they come around to the start-finish line. 10 lap number 32. Just over 6 minutes to go. Yoda across line with a 38.2, a 37.8 for Cynical. So Cynical closes in 4/10 there. Can he continue that trek? If he can, we will have one hell of a last lap battle here going on. See, really slow and subtle back here, battling it out for 6th and 7th. In front of them, Rob and Crashing Chris, but I think Chris is probably fuel saving. At this point, it's a hold on. It looks like Rob should take over that 4th position here, heading down into 1. And he will make that move, and will complete that move. That gives him the 4th spot, drops Chris back to 5th. Really slow and subtle, still nose to tail. Thank you, Blue, that we all needed that. I'm sure everybody appreciated hearing you hack your lung out. Really slow, subtle, side by side. I don't know, I'm excited for the GR4 cars tonight. The bright fluorescent paint liveries here we are going to have. It's going to be fun. Yeah, it's really slow holding on to that. Let's jump back up here. Yoda and Cynical side by side, heading to the front stretch. Fogey says he's rooting for Cynical. It's going to be a hell of a battle. They're side by side. And looks like Cynical will lead this lap. Side by side down into turn 1. Let's do this one. We're going to ride along for this. Cynical going to try to make the work of it. Yoda going to protect the inside. What the heck? You're wearing a 51 helmet and he's driving a 51. I'm so confused. Oh, he's there. Yoda trying to close the door on him. Not able to do it. Yoda going to send it wide. It's going to give him that spot back. Cynical going to set him up here, try to get the slipstream. We should see, let's see, we got 4, probably 3 laps to go here, maybe 2. 36 is what the last race did, so. See Cynical here trying to set him up. He's going to look to the outside, heading into the bus stop. Don't think he's going to try to make the move just yet. He's going to try to do it on the front stretch. And here he goes. This is the 08 Nissan against the 16 Nissan. Oops. And he's going to have the run at it. Yoda trying to put the block on. Cynical's got to run to the outside. Side by side down into turn 1. Contact there, and Cynical will take the spot from Yoda. That gives him that first position. Yoda really dives it in there, not able to make the move, gets a little squirrely. That's going to give Cynical the gap, and Yoda's going to have to try to catch back up. Behind that we got Sweaty Palm. Let me jump back onto our normal camera. Rob Brooks has a gap on for the 4th spot. Subtle holding on to 5th. Really slow in 6th, Crashing Chris back here, trying to hold on to that fuel. And he's going to give up the 7th spot here to Ricky Bobby, and not too far behind him, Jacob's going to look around the outside as well. You can see he is fuel saving for sure. And there you go, Fuller in the 10th spot, Wheeler in your 11th position. Yoda is losing the gap now to Cynical. Cynical looks like he's going to wrap this thing up. They're going to come around this time. And let's see, just over a minute. 1 lap to go. White flag is out for Cynical. He'll come across the line with a good substantial lead now, opening it up even more over Yoda. About 2 seconds there he put on Yoda on that lap, so he's definitely putting it down and trying to run away. Sweaty Palms in his own little world back here in the 3rd position, but good run for him in his number 54 Honda. Rob Brooks, kind of same thing. He's kind of in his own little world here in the number 51 Mellow Yellow Nissan, holding on to the 4th position. I guess Subtle is closing in. Subtle ran about a 10th faster on the last lap. Don't know that he'll catch him, though. They'll come across the line to see the white flag as well. Behind that, really slow, holding on to the 6th spot. Ricky Bobby in 7th. Got Jacob trying to close in on him. Crash and Chris is he out of fuel? He is out of fuel. Has to pit here with just a lap to go. That's going to ruin the race for him. Didn't quite play the fuel strategy right there. Jacob as well, really low on fuel, but should be able to make it to one more lap that's needed. Oh no, is Wheeler out? No, he's just pulling off and letting drivers by. Cynical coming through the bus stop for the final time. There you see it, we've hit the 60-minute mark. He'll come through NASCAR 3 and 4. He is your leader, running on a fast lap, a really fast lap this time. Is he going to do what I did and set the fast lap on the last lap? I like it. I like it. So, Cynical over the line. There's a checkered flag. Your winner. Round number 1 goes to Cynical. It does set a fast lap of 37.201. Yoda coming across the line in the 2nd position. Rounding out your podium is going to be Sweaty Palms in that Honda. So that's your podium. Now we got Rob Brooks. We got to wait a little bit to get Rob Brooks back over here. Like I say, these guys really putting on some stuff there. Give me just a sec here. And he's running his best lap of the race, so there we go. Just trying to get a snapshot of this. And let's see here. Rob Brooks gonna come across the line for the 4th position. Just misses out on that podium. Your top 5 gonna be rounded out by Subtle. The Butthole. Really slow in the 6th spot. Ricky Bobby gonna slide it across the line for 7th position. Great spin across the line. Jacob in the 8th spot. Fuller in 9th. Chris gonna bring it home in the top 10 as he comes around to the line here. It wasn't pretty close. We had some close racing in this one today, so good racing by everybody. Wheeler will round out your field in the 11th spot. And there you go. You have it. That's Lobby A for round number 1 of the GT500 Monkey Mafia Esports. I am Monkey. That is all we have on the docket today. Make sure you tune in. We have GR4 tonight, so if you're joining in on that, we'll see you then. Other than that, I'd like to thank everybody for joining, and you have a great day.